At this point, I'd like to share with you a little bit about the incredible nanotech products that Sanki Global has. They're really unequaled in the marketplace. There's nothing else like them. And they do such a tremendous job that they're high impact. Results happen very quickly. They're very convenient to take. And they're also very affordable, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So is there a need for our products? You know, if you don't have a need, then you don't have a business. And there is a tremendous need for the Sanki products. The main reason being is that there's a lot of toxins around, whether it be our diet, whether it be, you know, tobacco smoke, contamination in the air, pesticides, fertilizers, herbicides, you know, ultraviolet rays from the sun and the ozone disappearing, you know, radiation from our cell phones. All of these contribute to toxify our bodies. And these toxins can accumulate and reach the deepest levels of our bodies. And really that's the difficulty, because, you know, the toxin isn't necessarily the problem, because our body can usually deal with that on a daily basis. But after 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 50 years, 60 years, if they keep accumulating, and if we're not able to eliminate them from the deepest levels of our bodies, that's when chronic degenerative diseases take hold. Why? Because at the deepest levels of our body, we have our cells, of course, but within our cells, we also have mitochondria. And mitochondria are the ovens where we produce our energy. We're burning sugar and fat to produce the energy that we feel. But as the toxins accumulate and the deeper they penetrate our body, those mitochondria get inflamed. It's called microinflammation. And they get paralyzed and they don't function. Now, luckily, we've got literally quadrillions of mitochondria in our body. They say that 70% of our body weight is mitochondria, which is about 50% of our dry body weight. But however, after, again, 20, 30, 50 years, the more mitochondria that cease to function, the less the body can perform and be efficient, and that's when the chronic degenerative diseases take hold. And there's over 250 of these diseases attributed to what's called oxidative stress, which is this microinflammation, which is this accumulation of toxins at the deepest part of our body. Now, to clean that out isn't easy. You know, there are antioxidants which help neutralize toxins. However, a normal antioxidant can't reach that deepest level of the body, and they will still accumulate, the toxins will still accumulate even when taking average antioxidants. So what do we have with Sanki? Well, we have a global partnership. As mentioned, you know, Sanki was formed in partnership with a 20-year-old Franco-Japanese laboratory that are pioneers and the authority in fermentation technology and in nanotechnology. And these two technologies are extremely important. And we have now Sanki Mayer, our laboratories, our scientific division, which have operations in France, and they have operations also in Tokyo, Japan, as we speak. And our philosophy is that 1 + 1 is not equal to 2. 1 + 1 is equal to a more powerful 1. You know, what does that mean? Well, I'll give you an example. You know, corporate Sanki and distributor field Sanki is 1 + 1, but we don't equal 2. We equal a stronger team, one stronger team. With our products, which you'll see in a second, we have 2 products, but one product plus the other product is a more powerful system. And that's a tremendous concept, and that's the philosophy in which we run Sanki Mayer. And also here, Dr. Bijita Deas, our Chief Innovation Officer, you know, who is also the CEO of the parent laboratory, he says that they look for ingredients that have been in our diet for thousands of years, and it's by design. Because if we use plants and ingredients that are well known to our DNA, our body knows how to utilize those ingredients and can utilize them to the maximum. So you'll notice that the foundation, that the basis of our products are ingredients that have been in our diet for thousands of years. Now, beyond that, we apply these technologies. The first active ingredient that I'd like to talk about is Orisod enzyme 3. And Orisod has over 15 years research and development, has been in the market in Europe and in Japan for the last 10 years. So apart from double-blind, placebo-controlled published and peer-reviewed studies. We also have a wealth of performance data in the markets in Europe and Japan. And ORISOD stands for olive, rosemary, increase, SOD, superoxide dismutase. What is that? Well, that's a natural enzyme in our body. It's an enzyme that our body produces, and it's a master antioxidant. Its job is to neutralize toxins and keep the deepest levels of our body clean to help our body continue to function efficiently. It also has a partner called glutathione, and with these active ingredients, we increase the activity of the SOD and the glutathione enzymes. Now, what's fermentation technology? Well, our body needs to ferment nutrients in order to utilize them and make the most out of them. That's why we have flora in our intestine. That's why we have good bacteria. You always hear about good bacteria in your intestine. The reason we have good bacteria in our intestine is to ferment nutrients in order to absorb and utilize them. It's kind of like yogurt and Yakult and those kinds of products. But what we're able to do is take extracts, the olive leaf extract and the rosemary extract. We control our ingredients right from source. We have our own plantations in Alicante, Spain, in Toulouse, France, for our olive tree groves and our rosemary bushes. We have a laboratory right there in France. Everything's 100% organic, no genetic modification. They cultivate the leaves from the olive trees and from the rosemary plants. They take them to the laboratory immediately when they're fresh. They extract the nutrients using an aqueous process, which is patented. That means that they don't use any hydrocarbons, which preserves all of the nutrients and the antioxidants from the olive leaf extract and the rosemary extract. And then what they do is they apply a fermentation technology to emulate the human body. And if we're able to ferment the active ingredient prior to ingesting it, people with bad digestion can still receive the full bioavailability of the olive leaf extract and the rosemary extract. So it doesn't matter if a person has bad digestion, they're still going to receive benefit from our active ingredients. And what we're creating are the latest generation in nutraceuticals. Now, they also apply nanotechnology. And nanotechnology isn't really anything complicated. It's a little bit hard to imagine maybe, but it's not complicated. It's a measurement. A nanometer is a measurement. A centimeter has 10 millimeters. Well, a nanometer is 1/1,000,000th of a millimeter. If you take a millimeter, which is about the profile of your fingernail, and you divide that profile of your fingernail in 1,000,000 parts, you got yourself a nanometer. That's pretty small. A virus is 24 to 30 nanometers in size, to give you an idea. Now, when you can reduce nutrients down to this minuscule scale, the atoms and molecules develop stunning, powerful, new and unique properties which really help the body do its stuff. And that's what it's about. It's all about self-healing. What we're creating here with fermentation technology, nanotechnology, with these ingredients that are well known in our diet, what we're creating is a high-octane, refined cellular and mitochondrial fuel for our body. Let's talk a little bit about that. What we're able to do in our laboratories are create these nanospheres. And these nanospheres, you can see them in the image there, are actually less than 10 nanometers in size. That's less than half the size of a virus. That's real small. And what that does is it enables controlled delivery time. It takes the nutrients to specific sites in the body, and it protects the nutrients from stomach acid and so on until it reaches the cell and the mitochondria of the cell. So these nanospheres, which are from a plant source, they're very natural. They're very, very tiny, obviously. They actually contain the nutrients and the antioxidants of the olive leaf extract and the rosemary extract. So those nanospheres take the nutrients to the bloodstream. They then penetrate the walls of the cell. They take the nutrients not only to the cell, but to the mitochondria of the cell that you can see in the image there. And they reactivate these master antioxidants, SOD and glutathione, which are enzymes in our body. And when you can do that, your body starts to clean itself from the inside out, and it starts to boost the immune system, and it starts to really help your body run efficiently. And that's when self-healing comes into play. Now, the antioxidants in the rosemary plant are very special. They have a multiple action, which is to say, for instance, vitamin E, which is a very well-known antioxidant, one molecule of vitamin E can neutralize one molecule of toxin, free radical. And then you need more vitamin E. But with the antioxidants that are present in the rosemary plant, one molecule of antioxidant here on the right-hand side of your screen can neutralize 4 toxins. Why? Because it neutralizes one, converts into another antioxidant, neutralizes another toxin, converts into another antioxidant, and so on, 4 times. So it's 400% more powerful than vitamin E. Now, what we're able to do is take these multiple action, powerful antioxidants right to the deepest levels of our body. We're targeting the mitochondria. And that's the holy grail in science today. They believe that if they can heal the mitochondria, they can heal a lot of different conditions. And with these multiple action antioxidants reaching those levels, the results are absolutely incredible. So what are the benefits? Can't stress it enough. We're reactivating the natural master antioxidants and enzymes of the body, which are thousands of times more powerful than any external antioxidant that you'll consume. The product also improves micro and macro circulation of the blood. It also increases cellular hydration. Interesting thing is when the mitochondria are functioning more efficiently, and they're burning sugar and fat, they're producing water within the cell. So you're getting hydrated, again, from the inside out. And obviously you've got more energy. Why do you have more energy? Because your mitochondria are burning hotter, and you have more mitochondria functioning. As mentioned before, as toxins accumulate, mitochondria get inflamed with microinflammation, they get paralyzed, they stop metabolizing sugar and fat. And over the years, as more and more mitochondria do this, your body starts to break down. Now, in a clinical study, over 60 days, taking this active ingredient in Belage, which is called Orisod enzyme 3, after 60 days, there was 51% more mitochondrial activity in the subjects and the participants taking the actual product versus the participants taking the placebo. Because all our studies are placebo-controlled to eliminate any psychological effect. And this is our brand, Belage. Belage is a Sanki brand. We're importing these active ingredients like Orisod enzyme 3 from Europe to the Americas, and we're creating our own brand. And Belage means beautiful age. It's a very, very strong anti-aging product. So Belage, here it is. It has a lemon lime flavor. It's very easy to take. They come in stick envelopes, as you can see on the screen. In one envelope, there's about 3 grams of product. But of those 3 grams, 100 milligrams is the active ingredient, Orisod enzyme 3. And it's hard to believe, but in those 100 milligrams, and we don't use this word very often, there's 14 quadrillion. I never knew what came after trillion. I had to look it up, and now I know. 14 quadrillion nanospheres full of rosemary and olive leaf extract, nutrients, and antioxidants. 14 quadrillion, that's 14,000 trillion. That's enough to nourish all the mitochondria in your body with one portion. And as mentioned, you get all the benefits. Now, it's sweetened with stevia. There's all natural ingredients in it. Very tasty. You take that envelope, you open it, you mix it with half a liter of water, you shake it up, you drink it. It's like a lemonade. And it tastes so good, it's hard to believe it's good for you. But trust me, it's really good for you. Now, we also have a second product which focuses on one of the areas that we mentioned earlier in terms of building up toxins in the body, and that is, of course, our diet. Our diet these days leaves a lot to be desired in many cases. And the biggest health challenge that we have in the world today is something called metabolic syndrome, which is due to the fact that we're consuming way too much sugar. Way too much sugar in our diet. And we have a product to address metabolic syndrome. Belage actually does a lot to address metabolic syndrome, but with this next product, again, 1 + 1 = 1 system that's really powerful, and wow, it's incredible the results that are seen. So let's talk a little bit about sugar and a carb-rich diet. You know, we wake up in the morning, we have a donut and a coffee, and we increase the glucose in our blood, and our body, our pancreas, has an insulin spike. It shoots out a lot of insulin to help the body neutralize that sugar. And then in our break, we have a chocolate bar, so more glucose, another insulin spike. You know, then at lunch, we have a plate of pasta, and again, more carbohydrate, more glucose, another insulin spike. And you know, that's great for 1 day or 2 days or 3 days, but we keep doing that for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. All those insulin spikes really take a toll on the human body, on our health. You know, the pancreas can produce insulin and insulin and insulin, but after 10 years and 20 years and 40 years, it gets tired. It says, I just can't do it anymore. And that's when, you know, we start running into some serious problems. And as you know, there are serious conditions related with sugar and insulin levels. Now, our body has an internal biological clock. It's called chronobiology when you deal biologically with this internal clock. And with our product, we're actually utilizing chronobiology. What happens is our body tells our organs to perform certain tasks at certain times of day, and that's chronobiology. And one of those tasks that our body instructs one of our organs to do, and it does it for many reasons that we're not going to talk about right now, but it has to do with our evolution. Our body instructs our liver to convert carbohydrates to fat during the night when we're asleep. And you know, that was great in the old days when we were out hunting, you know, and so on and so forth. But these days, it can cause some serious problems. You know, if you look in the graph down below, you know, during the day we consume a lot of carbohydrate, and then during the night when we're asleep, the liver converts that carbohydrate to fat. And it produces eventually something called a fatty liver. I'm not sure if you've heard the term. I used to think it meant that people ate a lot of fat. But as I found out, it had nothing to do with fat consumption. It has everything to do with high consumption of carbohydrate. Why? Because during the night, the liver is converting this carbohydrate to fat. So what we need to do is reduce the amount of carbohydrate that our body is absorbing. And there's an active ingredient called Oxalia Night Reset, ONR. And this is derived from the husk of the black bean. Again, another plant, another food source that has been in our diet for thousands of years that our DNA can identify and work with. And what this active ingredient does, it's been in 15 years in development, it's been 10 years in the market in Europe and in Japan, a lot of performance data, a lot of clinical studies, double-blind, placebo-controlled. And you know, there's over 13 million people consuming this active ingredient in Europe as we speak, because it's been in the market there for 10 years. And what it does is it reduces the amount of carbohydrate that our body absorbs with a meal. And it does it in a very natural way, and it does it without interfering with our digestion. It actually improves the digestion of many people. So in the bottom graph, you can see the same carbohydrate consumption, but a lot less carb converted to fat during the night when we're sleeping. And when you can do that, you can actually detoxify the liver, you reinforce the pancreas. You know, as a matter of fact, these are the benefits. You have less absorption of carbohydrate. It's a carbohydrate absorption inhibitor. You take this with your meal, with your dinner. And I'll talk about, you know, the presentation of the product in a second. It has an anti-glycemic effect, which means that it helps control the insulin and sugar levels in the body. It reduces insulin resistance, which, you know, is a very, very serious situation when your body cannot utilize the insulin that it's producing. And with this product, with Oxalia Night Reset, your body can actually start producing better quality insulin that your body can utilize. And also, it has a nighttime multiple action antioxidant effect to protect you as well during the night. Gives you antioxidant protection. So this is our brand, Chronuit. Chron for chronobiology, nuit for night in French. You take it at night. It's also in a stick envelope. Its flavor is a blueberry, cranberry flavor. It's sweetened with a stevia, so 100% natural, absolutely no artificial ingredients whatsoever. You know, the black bean bioflavonoids and fiber are very good to help your body optimize and utilize the sugars and fats that we consume. And again, if you eat a plate of pasta for dinner and you have a Chronuit with it, it can be a hot tea or it can be cold, doesn't matter. You have that before or after your meal, and you're going to absorb 25% less sugar and carbohydrate with that meal, as well as help your liver detoxify during the night, you know, get rid of fatty liver, and also reinforce your pancreas. Now, together with, you know, Belage, we've got an incredible chrono wellness system. And what we do is we take Belage in a day, you know, one envelope, half a liter of water, you mix it up, you drink it during the day, whenever you like, and at night with your dinner, you take one envelope of Chronuit to reduce the amounts of sugars you absorb, and as we mentioned, you know, help the liver and the pancreas and so on. So that's our Chrono Wellness System. It's a fantastic product. There's nothing else in the market like it. As a matter of fact, you know, this product is so unique that our competition have no idea how to duplicate it. We focus on safety, on quality control. We are kosher certified. To receive kosher certification is not easy at all. You know, they've got to review your plants and your manufacturing facilities and your laboratories, but we got it on both products. So very high quality control. In vivo know-how, which means we do all our clinical studies with live participants. We don't rely on, you know, petri dish science. We rely on analyzing blood before and after and control the study with a placebo. You know, taste, again, both products taste wonderful, very easy to take, very convenient, which is important, and we believe in educating. You know, we believe in educating and increasing the customer's experience. So what we have are products that are high impact with very quick results. People get results very quickly. You know, they're very easy to take, very convenient, and as mentioned, they're very affordable, and we're going to talk about that next, which is our opportunity. But before doing that, I'd like to introduce you to an individual through some images here. His name is Armando. He's a friend of mine. He's been a diabetic for 10 years. He's been on medications under the care of his doctor. He's tried every alternative product on the market. Nothing seemed to help. And unfortunately, Armando had diabetic foot, you know, which means that the circulation in his feet was getting worse and worse and worse. And here on the left-hand side of your screen, you can see his feet were turning black due to lack of circulation. He was walking with a cane. He was in constant pain all day long. And his doctor said, "Sorry, Armando, there's nothing we can do. We tried everything. We're going to have to amputate your feet." Can you imagine that? Amputating your feet, living without your feet? He was really, really depressed about the whole situation. Here he says, you know, my body had turned into my coffin, longing for a day without pain and the desire to enjoy just one more day with my body fully intact. The thought of losing my feet was unbearable. You know, now he started taking the Belage product. We still didn't have Chronuit because Belage has been in the market now for 3 years in the Americas, and Chronuit has been in the market for 1 year here in the Americas, and again coming to the U.S. as we speak. Now, he just started taking the Belage at first, and in 3 weeks he started seeing results. And in 3 months, his feet were fine. You know, he stopped using his cane, the pain was gone. He added Chronuit when we introduced Chronuit, and I just was with him 3 weeks ago, and he was literally jumping for joy. He was literally jumping up and down. No pain, no cane, you know. And this is one case, but there's many of them. I've personally met 4 individuals in a very similar situation to Armando, where they were programmed to have their feet amputated, and with these products, in just a matter of weeks, they were resolved. So we truly have a tremendous product with a huge need. We can help literally millions of people, who are in certain conditions, but also it's all about prevention. It's about educating people to live a healthier lifestyle, reduce the amount of sugar that they're ingesting, and these products will also help their body, heal itself. Again, it's all about self-healing. Now, that's physical health, very important. But there's also financial health that we need to improve. And we're going to talk about that in just a second.